Good morning, students. Last 2 days, we are going through the chapter The Enemy. Last day, we found that Hooky and Hannah, they found an American Navy soldier, and he was in very critical condition, and what to do with him was the horns of dilemma for Hooky and Hannah. Now, Hannah suggested that they should throw him to the sea because Hooky wanted to treat him, but there was a condition that if he treated him and if the news is flashed, he would be caught and surely he would be tried for treason. That means treacherous act against the nation. So, in that case, the whole family would be into a problem. So, Hannah suggested that they should throw him to the sea. Now, you see how foolish is Paz, but since he is wounded, Hooky told. You also cannot throw him back to the sea, Hannah said. Then there is only one thing to do. We must carry him into the house. But the servants? Sadao inquired. We must simply tell them that we intend to give him to the Polish, as indeed we must. Sadao, Hannah told. We must think of the children and your position. It would endanger all of us if we did not give this man over as a prisoner of war. Thus agreed together, they lifted the man. He was very light, like a fowl that had been half-starved for a long time, until it is only feathers and skeleton. Actually, this person was in the Japanese prison, and naturally they didn't feed him well, and they tortured him. There was loss of blood, everything was there. That's why the person was so thin. So, his arms hanging, they carried him up the steps and into the side door of the house. This door opened into a passage, and down the passage they carried the man towards an empty bedroom. It had been the bedroom of Sadao's father. Though Sadao's father is not alive now, and if he would alive, had he been alive, he would never let this person enter into his house. It had been the bedroom of Sadao's father, and since his death, it had not been used. They laid the man on the deeply matted floor. Everything here had been Japanese to please the old man, because this man was very much conservative. He didn't like the modern amenities which the Westerns use. Everything here had been Japanese to please the old man. That means this person had a good command over his family. Sadao's father. That's why what he pleased, only those things were there in his room. Who would never in his own home sit on a chair or sleep in a foreign bed? Japanese, they always prefer the ground. In most of Japanese houses, people, they sleep on the floor. Of course, on a mat, but they don't use the bed or cot, and they sit on the ground. They don't sit on the chair because they think that the chair and bed, this culture is of foreign. It is not of their own. So they want to shun this habit. Hannah went to the wall cupboard and slid back a door and took out a soft quilt. She hesitated. The quilt was covered with flowered silk and the lining was pure white silk. "He's so dirty," she muttered in distress. This man, of course, was smeared with mud and other things.